Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So on today's episode, you'll have to excuse my voice. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but we are going to be kicking it off with a clip from this woman right here who, like many other divorced women, has decided to divorce her husband, ruin her family, in exchange for returning to the streets. Okay, that's actually not true. I don't know if this woman has children, but a lot of these women who divorce their husbands, they don't really care if they have kids or any kind of disruption it might cause. But we have this woman here who has decided to leave her husband nonetheless and return to the streets, because a lot of these women seem to think that the streets will hold their Prince Charming and their salvation, okay? And she, like many other modern women, is not happy with what she finds, okay? Because being single as a modern woman with delusional standards is really difficult, guys, because it turns out that nobody wants to date you, okay? Especially if you're divorced. So without further ado, let's jump into this clip as well as some other clips from women who are trying to date after divorce, and boy, is it hilarious. So let's take a listen. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
Real quick, can we stop normalizing situationships, hookup culture, friends with benefits, having the benefits of a relationship and not being committed to one person? When did this all become so normal?
It became normal when women allowed it and women preferred it rather than being in traditional relationships. Guys, I am not kidding when I say this. In fact, we've actually had many women on video say this as well, so I'm just not making this up, all right? But so many of these modern women would rather be single and rather be one of many women for an attractive man than to be with a man she feels as though she deserves better than. Okay, because make no mistake, guys, even these women who are clearly psychotic, who are divorced, right, who, have a bucket load of tattoos all over the hands and the chest and all of this sort of thing, they still have options. But these women would rather be part of Chad's harem than actually have a relationship. So, it's actually the women who do this to themselves. They could have their relationships, they could have their husbands. In fact, you even had a husband and you screwed it up. But you don't want to. You would rather return to the streets and have your fun.
Relationship and not being committed to one person. When did this all become so normal? Why is it not normal anymore to want to be in a relationship or to want to be married? I'm not saying I want to be married again. I don't know. But I do know that I want to spend my life with somebody.
What do you mean? You had your somebody. You had your husband. This is the part, well, this is kind of a lie. I lost empathy for this woman a long time ago, right? But this is generally the part where I lose empathy for these women, is because they say they want love, right? They say they want, they just want to be with a man long term. They're just looking for something serious. I'm sorry. Try and make it work with your first husband. Go out there, talk to him. Not my problem. Okay? You could have had your long-term relationship. I love how, guys, we divorce our husbands and we come back out here to the streets and we're like, wow, where's my Prince Charming? You screwed it up. But I also feel for this woman's skin because of the amount of makeup that she has applied to it over the years. And I don't want you to screw up your skin like she has screwed up hers. So today's video is sponsored by Tiege Hanley. Guys, Tiege Hanley is a skincare company that is specifically designed for men who are looking for something simple to help with their skincare routine. The products are entirely foolproof, guys, so even if you're as dense as some of the people that we cover on this channel, I'm sure you will be able to figure it out. They also have specific instructions, I believe, in each box as well. Tiege Hanley offers a wide range of skincare systems, depending on where your skin is at. I would personally recommend the level 1 system. It's what I have been using. It's a comprehensive set that includes a face wash, exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20, as well as a PM moisturizer as well. I've been using Tiege Hanley for a long time, guys, their level 1 system, even before they decided to sponsor this channel, because their commitment to quality and simplicity is very, very good. If you need further convincing, guys, just have a look at some of their 5-star reviews on their website, which I will flash up on screen now for you guys to take a look at. You're also welcome to head on over there yourself, but they have a lot of people who have been incredibly happy over the years from everywhere, all over the planet. And guys, for a limited time, you can grab both the wash and the AM moisturizer for only $9. That is right, guys. Only $9. I swear everything these days costs more than $9. That's probably more than a coffee at this point, honestly. So guys, don't miss out on the exclusive opportunity to transform your skin. Make sure you click that link in the video description or the pinned comment today. But let's jump back into today's episode. Okay, you failed. You're Prince Charming. He's in your past. Nobody wants to, or at least nobody with self-respect, wants to wipe up a woman for the second time. See how she's looking, guys? Let's be honest about this. She's looking to get back into a relationship. She wants Chad to take her seriously, and she wants Chad to marry her. It's desperate.
Not normal anymore to want to be in a relationship or to want to be married. I'm not saying I want to be married again. I don't know.
She wants to be married again. You see, because for so many women, it's actually embarrassing to get to this age and not be married and not have a relationship. Now, you're going to have a harder and harder time getting marriage out of men, considering it's a giant scam for men. But it's a mark against you, right? If you're a woman and you're this age and you don't have a serious relationship, you don't have a marriage, that's fine. But people are going to ask you, what the hell have you been doing? Okay, because everybody knows, right? And people don't want to admit this because it sounds unflattering, but everybody knows that you could have had your relationships and all of this completely sorted. You could have had your Prince Charming. So people think to themselves, why is she single? There is a reason, okay? Something is wrong. Now, if you want to go out there and you want to have your fun and be a liberated queen, okay, quote unquote, go out there and do that. But let's call it for what it is, okay? You're just hooking up with strangers.
But I do know that I want to spend my life with somebody. I've been single for quite some time, and I've been a part of the situationships, the hookup culture, the friends with benefits. I've been a part of all of that. And let me tell you, I absolutely today want no part of it.
Yeah, so what we've done is we have gone out here, we've had fun with a whole bunch of dudes, right? So here's the timeline for this woman's life, okay? She screwed around with a whole bunch of different dudes. She married some dude after that she wasn't attracted to. She probably continued to cheat on him. She eventually divorced him, tried to take his money. And now we have returned to the streets where she's resuming the degeneracy. Okay, and now, again, guys, men are supposed to pick up the pieces. Oh, why aren't men giving us relationships? Why don't men do things for us? Where's the chivalry gone, right? And what these women fail to realize is that chivalry, traditional dating, all of this sort of stuff, it was actually a privilege, okay? It's not a privilege that you get when you've been divorced and absolutely gone through a whole bunch of dudes. You know, like, you want to be treated like a lady, fine, but you're not a lady. Let's call it for what it is. None of these women who make these videos, guys, are ladies.
A part of the situationships, the hookup, spend my life with somebody. I've been single for quite some time.
Yeah, isn't that just telling, right? When a woman has been single for quite some time and she doesn't want to be single, you know there are so many red flags and so many things that are off.
And I've been a part of the situationships, the hookup culture, the friends with benefits. I've been a part of all of that. And
yeah, so now, after you've done all of this, men are expected to, what, give you a relationship, you know, pay the bills, be chivalrous, right? It's like, why would a man work so hard in his life, okay? He's financially stable, he's attractive now, you know, maybe he wasn't genetically gifted, so he had to go to the gym for a long time. He's attractive, he's got his money together, and now you desire this man, and after this man has put in years of his life into improving it for a woman, right? You want him to spend that on you, right? You want this guy who spent his whole life improving it just to be enough for someone as entitled as you, and you want him to spend that on you. This is why a lot of guys, they don't do this crap for women anymore. They just do it for themselves. And I know that sounds like a meme, guys, but a lot of guys are not really, building up their life so they can provide for a Western woman these days. And like as sad as it is to say, guys, tradition has kind of gone a little bit out of the window these days.
Let me tell you, I absolutely today want no part of it. It makes you feel empty. You allow people to take pieces of you and leave and want nothing more from you. They get what they want to fill their void, to fill their loneliness.
I'm sorry. Number one, I failed to see how this is my problem. Number two, I failed to realize how you're the victim in this situation. It is stunning, guys. It is amazing. It is bewildering to me just how many of these videos exist. And one of the main common themes of them is that you have to sell the idea that you're somehow a victim. Nobody forced you to engage in hookup culture. Nobody forced you to divorce your husband. Nobody forced you to do the friends with benefits, the situationships, right? Whatever language you want to use. Nobody forced you to do this. Right? And this is the amazing part, is these people will never take accountability for it. It's like, yeah, I just got used by these men and they're manipulators and they're liars, okay? And I'm sure a lot of guys out there are manipulators and liars, but guess what? You're a bit of an idiot for not being able to spot them, okay? Right? If you're a man, you know what dudes are players, right? If you had a daughter, I made this point many times, then I'm sure many men, if they had a daughter, they'd be able to pick a boyfriend better than these women who are like 40 would ever be able to do. It's no excuse, man.
And leave and want nothing more from you. They get what they want to fill their void, to fill their loneliness, and take from you and leave you with absolutely nothing. This is unacceptable. I've allowed it. What we allow will continue to happen, right? So either we put a stop to it or we just allow it to keep happening. The generation that we're in right now, it is easy access to anybody that you want with social media, dating apps, our phone. We're swiping left, we're swiping right. We are on to the next best thing. We have maybe something in front of us that might be great.
How about you take your own advice? Where's your husband? Right? Like, what even is this, man? And let's be clear about this. She says that, people have options and they have access to all of these different people. Not the average man. The average man doesn't have these sorts of options at his fingertips. The average man has to be literally very high celebrity status to even approach the same amount of options that the average entitled woman has on these applications. And even then, he probably doesn't have it, to be honest with you. Right? The problem is, so many of these women are straight delusional because they experience the status of a rock star on these applications. Right? They get so many dudes who are hitting them up, who are in their DMs, giving them likes and things like this. Even an average woman, guys, I tell you, if ever you want to be just like, if you don't know what the hell's going on, if you're new to this crap, guys, just make like make a dating profile and just say that you're a woman, put up some like pictures that don't show you at all, and you'll get way more matches than the average man. Like it doesn't even matter. You could put a picture of a plant on your profile, like literally just, or a piece of food or something. Get on these dating applications and get significantly more matches than the average guy ever will. Okay, so chads have these options. Women have options. The average man does not. Don't pretend like this is everybody, okay? It's crazy, man.
That you want with social media, dating apps, our phone. We're swiping left, we're swiping right. We are on to the next best thing. We have maybe something in front of us that might be great, right? But you're so interested in the next pretty thing, the next shiny toy, that you miss out on a great opportunity with an amazing person.
Right. So she doesn't see how she's done this herself in her entire life. She's just annoyed that men are doing this to her. And I've always said this, that problems only become real problems to these women when it happens to them. As long as it's happening to somebody else, i.e. men, nobody cares, right? Nobody makes an issue about it. These women they'll just continue their lives and do the exact same thing as they've always been doing. But the moment it happens to women, it's like, you know, what's that Joker meme, right? Everybody loses their minds. All of these women just, they collectively, they can't handle it. It's so unjust. It's so unfair. Whatever, man.
In the next pretty thing, the next shiny toy, that you miss out on a great opportunity with an amazing person, right? We do this time and time and time again. I have been stuck in this cycle for so long of allowing the bare minimum. And I have to put a stop to it, because what I am doing is blocking my blessings for what's truly meant for me.
These videos disgust me, man. Like, at the end of it, the conclusion is this, right? So women do this. This is what they do on these applications, right? They go out there, they have a whole bunch of fun with bad boys until, like, they're literally 50, okay? And then what they say is, like, as they get older, they always make these videos about how, oh, you know, my standards are so low, I deserve better. This year, what I'm going to do is I'm going to up my standards and know my worth and stop blocking my blessings, go through my healing journey, all of this nonsense. And all that it really means is that the next man that she has a serious relationship with, i.e. some dude who she thinks she's better than, he has to put up with all of this nonsense, right? He has to pay for every date. He has to open her car door. He has to treat her like a princess. He has to, you know, solve all of her problems, deal with her emotional outbursts, okay, pay the bills, be a real man, step up. But those literally 3 digits plus of bad boys that she went through did not have to pay a damn thing. And this is the scam that men are not interested in. Women get to this age and they go, you know, I just, you know, that next guy, he really has to be it. He has to do everything for me. And the funniest part about that is, even if some guy is stupid enough to come along and do this, she will still treat him like garbage because she feels like she deserves the attractive guy, right? The man that she's more attracted to. There is a reason why a lot of men have opted out of dating women seriously. I wish I could say that as a joke, guys. I wish I could say that as a meme. But no, it's very true. A lot of guys are just not interested anymore. You can't sell them on it. You just can't. You can sell them on some fun, maybe, but selling them on a relationship becomes a lot more difficult.
Let's normalize being in relationships again, being married, being committed to one person, not having 4 different people and getting relationship benefits from each person and not being committed to anybody. We were designed and built to be with one person and to spend our life with that person. It's okay to be strong and independent, as I am. But when I come home at the end of the day, I have nobody to share my stories with and my success with.
Let me just make this absolutely clear. So many of these women, they get it really confused. Let me just clear the air. Men do not care about your career. We do not care about your strength. We do not care about your independence. We do not care about some fancy degree that means absolutely nothing that you have hanging up in your house. We don't care about how much money is in your bank account. We don't care about how many followers you have. We are not built like this. When you sit here and you say, hey, listen, I want a relationship. I'm strong and independent. All men hear is that you're a pain in the ass. Like, I'm just keeping it 100, guys. I'm not even trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be mean. But when you sit here and you say, listen, I'm strong and independent, men don't view you as relationship material. They view you as someone who is going to give them a headache. It's really quite as simple as that. No dude is out here trying to date another man, okay? Yes, there are dudes who are not heterosexual, but for the majority of men, they are not out here trying to date a woman who acts like a man. If men wanted to do that, they would just date other men. Very, very simple.
Nobody to share my stories with and my success with. When I am gray and old, I want to sit on the front porch with my person and share our life together. That's what we are designed to do. We aren't designed for all this other bullshit that we are engaging in. When does it stop?
For you, never. It doesn't stop, right? If you could make this stop at any point in time. This is the whole victim thing coming back, right? Is like these women, they think that they're the victim. But the thing that's keeping them single is their stupid standards. And the problem is, even if they go out there and they date the man that's unattractive, right? Or the man who's not as attractive as the men that she can get on dating applications, because she's essentially ruined herself, because she's always going to be psychologically attached to the previous guys that she's been with. And therein lies the problem, right? And this is why dudes place so much emphasis on it. People say that it doesn't matter, that it's just some sort of joke. But there's a reason why dudes don't want to date women who have been with a whole bunch of different men. They can't attach to you. They literally can't, guys. Like, you try building a life with a woman who's been with a whole bunch of different dudes, and you are always going to be compared to those past dudes, and she will cheat on you. She will eventually ditch you. And if you think that what I'm saying is a meme, guys, let's think about this for a second. Let's just say a woman has had 15 partners before you. Okay, you might think, Taylor, that's a lot, but a lot of girls have actually had a lot of experiences, right? Let's just say a woman has had 15 experiences with you, whether that be relationships or hookups or whatever, and she's like, I don't know, 28. Okay, and I'm giving some low numbers here, guys. I know, right? Some people think I'm giving high numbers. I'm giving low numbers. Let's just say you have a woman who's 28 years of age. She's been with 15 different dudes in different capacities. Tell me why on earth the average man should think to himself that he is going to be lucky number 16 and there's going to be no 17. Like, let's think about that for a second, guys. You've had 15 instances. I'm the 16th, and you expect me to believe that there's going to be no 17. Common sense will just tell you otherwise. All you have to do is apply common sense in these situations, and you realize how nonsense what they're talking about is.
We are engaging in. When does it stop? For me, it's done.
I am done entertaining men that hate women. I'm done. The men that like to use our bodies for pleasure and like to trample on our hearts. The ones that say, be my peace and come and disrupt mine. The ones that say, I don't want you to nag me, but then insist on me being their mama.
Okay, so this woman, if you couldn't already guess, is also a divorced woman, I believe. And it's just funny, right? Because the assumption here is like, if you don't give a relationship to a woman, then somehow you dislike women. Isn't that very interesting, guys, right? If a man says, so let me get this straight. A woman can say no to you in an intimate sense, and that doesn't mean that she hates men, right? That just means that she knows she has boundaries and all this sort of stuff, right? Fine. But if a man says, no, he doesn't want a relationship, then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose and the man's evil. It's just very funny to me, guys, how women can have boundaries, but men are just not allowed to have them. Very weird how that works. Very weird. And you might sit here and you might complain, and you might say, well, these men are just using us for our bodies. You know, you could always say no, right?
I don't want you to nag me, but then insist on me being their mama. The ones that demand trust and loyalty,
but are unwilling to give the very thing that they demand from us.
I don't need you. I don't need your money. I don't need your car. I don't need your network or your contacts. I don't need your drama. I don't need your insecurities or your jealousy.
Yeah, guys, why can't you just be a good provider guy? Let her go out there, go on girls' missions out, right? Let her go clubbing and everything, and go traveling to Miami with her girls, wearing nothing. Like, why do men just have to be so insecure? I don't know, guys. This word lets you know very quickly which women are complete psychos. Because what they do is they call men insecure. And like, I'm sure there are people who fit the definition of insecurity, okay? But is it really insecurity if you don't want your girl going out here and behaving like a 3 or 4? Or is that just common sense? Like, you guys let me know, right? Let's flip the script here before we wrap up today's episode, okay? Imagine a woman has a boyfriend, and then that boyfriend decides to go and take a bunch of women out on, lunches, and he buys them all lunch. If that girlfriend then complains about that, imagine if that boyfriend turned around and called her insecure. Nothing's happening. I'm just going for lunches. I'm not romantically interested in these women. I'm just being a good friend. Why do you have to be so insecure? These women who throw around the word insecure are downright psychotic. But guys, I think we might leave today's episode here, being a bit of a long one. I expected to go through this clip here a little bit slower. But, we had time. Guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.